I always thought the worst way to find out your marriage is over would be a screaming match. I was wrong. It was a video, sent from a number I didn't recognize. No message, just betrayal in 4K. You know that moment when your whole world shifts sideways and suddenly everything makes perfect, terrible sense? When all those little things you ignored start screaming at you like a fire alarm you've been hitting snooze on for months? Yeah, that was me last Tuesday at 11:47 p.m., sitting in my underwear, eating leftover pizza, when my phone buzzed with a text from a number I didn't recognize. Just a video, no message, no explanation, just send. Now, I'm not usually the type to open random videos from strangers. Call it paranoia, call it wisdom, call it the fact that I work in IT and know exactly how many ways technology can ruin your life. But something about the timing felt intentional. My wife Lisa was at her book club, or so she said. She'd been going to a lot of book clubs lately. Weird, considering she hadn't finished a book since college, and that was mostly Cliff's Notes. So I clicked it. 38 seconds of my 5-year marriage crumbling like a stale cookie. There was Lisa, in what was definitely not a book club, unless they were studying anatomy. Very hands-on research, with Derek from her yoga class. On the couch I helped her pick out at IKEA, the couch we assembled together, arguing over the Swedish instructions like we were defusing a bomb. That couch cost us $300 in 6 hours of our lives. Apparently it was worth it, just not for the reasons I thought. The worst part? She was wearing my old college t-shirt, the one with the hole in the left armpit that she always complained about. "Tony, this thing is falling apart. When are you going to throw it away?" Never, it turns out, because apparently it was perfect for her extracurricular activities. I watched that video 4 times. Not because I'm a masochist, well, maybe a little, but because I kept thinking I was missing something. Some detail that would make this make sense. Some angle where my wife wasn't, well, doing what she was very clearly doing. But no, there it was, high-definition betrayal. Thanks, modern technology. The video had a timestamp, last Thursday, book club night. The same night she came home and told me all about how they discussed 50 Shades of Grey, and wasn't it just so empowering for women to explore their sexuality? Turns out she was doing her own research. I didn't sleep that night, just sat there, staring at the ceiling, listening to her breathe next to me like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't just blown up our entire life. At 3 a.m., she rolled over and mumbled, "Love you, babe," in her sleep. I almost woke her up right there, almost shook her awake and demanded answers. But then I remembered something my dad told me once. "Tony, revenge is a dish best served cold. But planning it? That's where the real satisfaction is." My dad was talking about business deals, but the principle applied. So I started planning. The next morning, Lisa made pancakes, heart-shaped ones with strawberries arranged in a smiley face. She hummed while she cooked, actually hummed, like she was starring in her own little musical where adultery was just another dance number. "What's the occasion?" I asked, cutting into my pancake heart. "Do I need an occasion to make my husband breakfast?" She kissed my forehead, the same lips that had been, well, you get the picture. "Guess not," I said, taking a bite. "These are great, honey." They tasted like lies and artificial maple syrup. For the next 2 weeks, I became the husband of the year. Flowers on random Tuesday. Foot rubs after her yoga class. I even signed us up for that couple's cooking class she'd been hinting about for months. "Tony, what's gotten into you?" she asked, after I surprised her with tickets to that play she wanted to see. "Can't a man spoil his wife?" I said, wondering if Derek got the same treatment or if I was special. She thought she'd won the lottery. Little did she know I was just loading the cannon. Her birthday was coming up, 32 years old. I'd already planned the perfect party before I got that video. Booked her favorite restaurant, invited everyone we knew, even hired a photographer to capture all the special moments. Now it was going to be truly unforgettable. I spent hours perfecting the guest list. Her parents, who always looked at me like I was something they'd scraped off their shoe. Her sister Amy, who once told me I wasn't good enough for Lisa at our wedding. My brother Mike, who'd warned me about Lisa from day one. "She's got that look, Tony. The look that says she's always shopping for something better." I even made sure to invite Derek and his wife Patricia, because if we're going nuclear, might as well take out all the targets. The day before the party, I made one last addition to the evening's entertainment. I rented a projector, professional grade, the kind they use for corporate presentations, because some messages deserve high definition. I tested it in our garage, making sure the image was crystal clear. You know, for the details. The morning of her birthday, Lisa woke up glowing. Literally glowing, like she'd discovered some new skincare routine that involved betraying your spouse. "I can't wait for tonight," she said, modeling the dress I'd bought her. Red, elegant, expensive. "You've been so amazing, Tony. I don't know what I did to deserve you." "Oh, you've earned it," I said. Boy, had she earned it. We got to the restaurant at 7. Everyone was already there, mingling, drinking wine, making small talk about the weather and house prices, and whatever else people discuss when they're trying to avoid acknowledging that half the room was sleeping with the other half. Derek was there with Patricia, looking nervous. He kept checking his phone, wouldn't make eye contact, probably wondering if his wife had gotten any mysterious videos lately. Patricia seemed oblivious, chatting with my mom about her garden. Sweet woman, about to have a very educational evening. Lisa was in her element, floating from group to group, accepting compliments and birthday wishes. She hugged Derek a little too long when she greeted him. Patricia noticed. I noticed. Hell, the waiter probably noticed. After dinner, after the toasts and the cake and all the traditional birthday rituals, I stood up. "I have a special surprise for Lisa," I announced, gesturing to the waiter who was setting up the projector. "A little slideshow of some of her recent activities." "Oh, Tony, you didn't," Lisa laughed, but there was something in her eyes, a flicker of recognition, fear. "Oh, but I did," I said, raising my wine glass. "To my wife, who's always been so generous with her time, so willing to help others, so committed to trying new things." Derek had gone pale, like vampire pale. His hand was shaking as he reached for his water glass. This is a video of Lisa really giving her all, showing just how dedicated she can be when she puts her mind to something. I hit play. At first, there was confusion. The room went quiet as the familiar sounds filled the air. Someone's phone, a door closing, heavy breathing. Then the image came into focus. Lisa's face appeared on screen, and for just a moment, she looked confused too, like she was trying to figure out why she was watching herself at her own birthday party. Then reality hit. Her mother gasped, actually gasped, like someone in a Victorian novel who'd just seen an ankle. Her father started choking on his wine. Amy's mouth fell open so wide I could see her dental work. Derek looked like he was about to throw up. Patricia was staring at the screen, then at Derek, then back at the screen, putting the pieces together with the speed of someone solving a jigsaw puzzle of their own destruction. My brother Mike just nodded slowly, like he'd been waiting for this moment his entire life. And Lisa? Lisa went through all 5 stages of grief in about 10 seconds. Denial, blinking at the screen like it might change. Anger, whipping around to glare at me. Bargaining, starting to say, "I can explain." Depression, her shoulders sagging. And finally acceptance, sitting down hard in her chair. The video kept playing. 38 seconds never felt so long. When it ended, the silence was deafening. You could hear a pin drop. You could hear atoms moving. You could hear the sound of a marriage imploding in real time. "Happy birthday, sweetheart," I said, pulling out an envelope and placing it next to her untouched cake. "Divorce papers. I thought you might want to start your new year fresh." The explosion was immediate. "How could you do this to me?" Lisa shrieked. "In front of everyone! This is humiliating!" "Oh, I'm humiliating you?" I laughed. "That's rich. I'm not the one starring in amateur adult films with yoga instructors." "It's not what it looks like." "Really? Because it looks like you were giving Derek here a very enthusiastic performance review, on our couch, wearing my shirt." Derek tried to slink toward the exit, but Patricia blocked his path. "Going somewhere, honey?" she asked, her voice sweet as antifreeze. "Patricia, I can explain," Derek started. "Oh, I think the video explained plenty," Patricia said. Then she turned to me. "Tony, is there more footage?" "Wouldn't you like to know?" I said with a wink. Lisa's mother found her voice. "Anthony, this is unconscionable. To air your dirty laundry in public like this." "My dirty laundry?" I stood up, feeling the weight of 5 years of small betrayals, little lies, and being taken for granted. "Margaret, I didn't cheat. I didn't lie. I didn't break my vows. I just shared what your daughter's been up to in her spare time." But to humiliate her, she humiliated herself. I just provided the venue. Amy, never one to miss an opportunity to make things worse, chimed in. "Lisa, how could you be so stupid? And with Derek, he's not even attractive." "Hey," Derek protested. "I've seen the video, Derek. We've all seen the video. Trust me, you're punching above your weight class." That's when Patricia threw her wine at Derek. Good aim too. Got him right in the face. The red wine matched his shame perfectly. The restaurant staff was trying to pretend this was normal. The waiter kept refilling glasses like nothing was happening. Professional dedication, you had to admire it. Lisa tried one more time. Tony, please, can we talk about this privately? Like how you talked to Derek privately? No thanks. I think we've all seen enough of your private conversations. I left the divorce papers on the table, took one last bite of birthday cake, excellent chocolate mousse would recommend, and headed for the door. Where are you going? Lisa called after me. Anywhere but here, I said. Oh, and Lisa, I changed the locks. Your stuff is in storage, Unit 47B. I paid for 3 months. After that, it's your problem. I walked out to the sound of Patricia and Derek screaming at each other, Lisa crying, and my brother Mike slow clapping. Outside, the night air felt incredible, like I'd been holding my breath for months and could finally exhale. My phone buzzed, a text from that same unknown number. Hope it was worth it. A friend. I texted back, best money I ever spent on dinner. No response. Just like that, my mysterious informant vanished back into the digital ether. Guardian angel or vengeful ex, or just someone who believed in justice. I'd never know. But whoever they were, they'd given me the greatest gift possible. The truth. 3 months later, I'm in my own apartment. Got the dog in the divorce. Lisa didn't want the responsibility. Got my self-respect back too. Turns out that was worth more than the house. Derek and Patricia split up. She took him for everything, including his vintage comic book collection. Heard she sold it all on eBay out of spite. Beautiful. Lisa's living with her sister, working at a different yoga studio because the old one had conflicts of interest, small town problems. Me? I'm good. Better than good. I'm free. Started seeing someone new. Emma. She's a librarian, which means she actually reads books. Revolutionary concept. When she asked about my ex-wife, I told her the truth. She was creative with our wedding vows. I was traditional, irreconcilable differences. Emma laughed. Creativity is overrated anyway. That's when I knew she was a keeper. Sometimes, late at night, I still think about that video. Not the content. God knows I've seen enough of that. But the timing, the precision, the way it arrived exactly when I needed it most, right before I might have wasted more years on someone who didn't deserve them. Maybe it was luck. Maybe it was fate. Maybe it was just the universe finally paying attention to my prayers for once. Or maybe it was Derek's guilty conscience, self-sabotaging in the most spectacularly stupid way possible. Either way, I'm grateful. Because sometimes the worst thing that happens to you turns out to be the best thing that ever happened to you. You just have to wait for the projection to focus. And trust me, when it does, make sure you're not the one caught on camera.